you right. There is such a blissful feeling in the morning. I love getting up early and heading out in nature, and something about that morning breeze. One day I decided to go out in nature. This was around when there wasn't a lot of trees yet. One of my favorite times is spring when everything is blooming. And to my surprise, you see people out running. I always admire these people because I get up early and I love to be in nature, but I don't want to run. I don't ever run. I'm always taking it nice and easy. That's just who I am. I believe you can achieve anything if you are able to be consistent, to do it repetitively, and to not overwhelm yourself. And that's why I'm always at parks, I'm always walking, and people wonder, how are you losing weight? Are you going to the gym? I do not go to the gym. I hope I don't ever go to another gym. I love nature, not only because of the physical health and the physical gift that it gives you by walking for your heart, it's so good for your mind to get outdoors and to breathe the air. In these times we're living in now, it's so easy to stay in the house. And I have been in the house for sometimes longer than I would like to be in the house. And I've noticed that I kind of start wanting to just stay home. And I noticed that I start wanting to stay home. It starts to become more difficult to get out. Now, I've never experienced this before until this whole quarantine and staying home started to happen. And you get exhausted from going outside. Like maybe you want to go to a mall or you want to go to somewhere, but you got to put on a mask and you may not necessarily want to go. I know I personally don't like to go to the mall now because I don't want to sit in the mask long, you know. But today, a lot of people are not wearing masks, and I would never wear one at the park. But this is one of those areas that I like to go to that has many pathways that you can walk and go on see different sites. As you saw, there was like a little bridge, and there's a lot of paths. If you look at the ground, you'll see like this concrete, uh, just kind of spreading out different paths, and it's really cool because you can go veer off and end up in all different scenic places. But one of the things about this park that I don't always go alone is because when the trees grow in, it can be very woody looking, and you almost don't know if someone's in the woods. It's very like woody, whereas I like to go to open parks where I can see everything. Even though there's trees, I can see everything. Now, this park, you can see things because there's not a lot of trees yet. They haven't grown in. But this park, there's a certain part of this path where you'll literally be in the middle of just woods. So anytime I come here, I'm always with a friend or with my little niece or with a child, just to keep me company. And another thing about this park, although it's absolutely beautiful, it has like a lake and all that. Um, it's it's a lot of people who like to let their dogs run wild, you know. Like look at this woman, she's up working out and it's very early in the morning, maybe 10 a.m., 9, 10 a.m. And I think that's great. And I'm trying not to record her. But anyways, like I was saying, sometimes you'll veer off on certain paths and you'll find people letting their dogs just run loose. And one time I came up here with my niece and we veered off just because we really didn't know where we were going. It can get a little confusing. And when I tell you we were by a bush and this big dog was just staring us in the face, and his owner had the leash over his neck. See, they know they're supposed to put their dogs on leashes, but I understand the temptation to want your dog to feel free and to want to run around. I actually think that's fantastic. I just wish they didn't do it at places where a lot of people hang out because these type of parks are in the city. They're usually occupied with people. Certain parts of these parks have a lot of people hanging out. So sometimes I get a little annoyed because I'm like, well, you might know your dog, but I don't. So when the dog was staring my little niece in the face, she just froze. And then got mad because the guy just acted like, oh, whatever. And I was like, let me go. I was ready to go get a tree branch because I get nervous. I don't know your dog. I get defensive. And I have my little niece with me. What if this dog would have got nervous and bit me or something? Or just growled at me? But sometimes that type of stuff can stress you out when you're going out in the woods. You'll have these people who will literally just let their dogs run loose, run through the park, and they'll be, and I completely understand you want that dog to have some freedom. I get it. I love it. But just go somewhere remote where there's no one at, no one there, because no one wants to feel a little nervous when they're walking and trying to have peace. And these people always are so nice. They try to portray themselves as very nice. But to me, I don't find that nice. I find that rude because you're not considering other people. But, anyways, other than that, I have. I love coming here, and I used to come here a lot but way back in the day with my friends, and I didn't come back to this park for a while because it was always confusing to me and it was too woody, and I saw all these paths, and I used to get nervous that I was going to end up somewhere and not know how to get back. So I was trying to push myself to go here more and more so I could find out my way. I can figure out my how to get from one end to the other, because it's a circular path, but you can end up on a highway somewhere. You can end up it's really it's cool, but it's you can end up in some weird places if you don't know where you're going. And the more I came, I started to realize how to get through in a nice, easy, smooth way. But this is such a beautiful scene. I mean, I don't know about you. I know we're here in the summer, but I love when the spring is here and everything's blooming and life is just starting and it's a new year. Now, as you see, I'm moving myself through a path that I would not normally travel, but I'm with someone who wanted to go this path. And you see the log, and it's a little rocky and rough. And I'm like, why is this tree log just in the middle of nowhere? That's why this park gives me a little bit of an eeriness. You can even see like a puddle of water out of anywhere, but the air was so fresh and nice. And you start to see more people because these are the paths that most people go on. So when you go to the main path, you'll start to see people, and it's more open. You see the lake, the water, and it's a beautiful time. I don't care what I'm going through. If I can get out in nature and just breathe, you know, I'm telling you, you can handle any problem. Sometimes indoors you just feel suffocated, but I love all the colors of nature, the colors of the trees, and I love the vibe of the people who come out this way. And, you know, I'm just sharing this video with you because there are so many beautiful places around us, and I like to capture them. I take a little 3 to 5 minute moment and just capture those moments. Now, when you start to walk this way here, you notice the path leads you in the middle of two bodies of water. And I'll be honest, this water is not the cleanest water. I actually sometimes dread walking this way um, because there's parts of the water, I'm not showing it, but it's a lot of debris, like when you first start walking. And then you kind of just, it gets better. But I don't know if you're seeing it, but it's a little eerie, but it's beautiful. And you let me know what you think. Let me know what type of stuff you like to do and why you go out to these places in nature. Do you tend to walk alone? Do you like to go to very woody places that are like very have a lot of trees and look like a forest, or are you more into like the open, busy places like the city? I'm not the most adventurous person, so I get nervous if it's too eerie looking or too hidden. I like to know there's people around. Yes, sometimes my mind plays tricks on me, and I'm like, what if someone jump out the bushes, or what if a dog? Now that I've had dogs pop up on me, I now fear, what if a dog pops out? So I'm very cautious, but at the same time, I like to let my guard down, but I'm always aware. But you see how beautiful it is over by the water. You can come out here, put a blanket. You can come with some people put tents up, and it's just a beautiful experience. And sometimes as you're walking, you'll see little statues, I mean, little informational posts, which I like to read and see what's going on. As you see me walking more, I'm moving more toward the highway, where it's more of the urban city area. But it really isn't a bad walk once you know where you're going. It's one of the parts of the city I love, and I just love when I have someone with me. I have not gone here. I've probably come here maybe once or twice alone, but not many times. If I do come to this park, I'll come and I'll sit by the water, and I won't go deep into the park. Because some days it's just so nice to sit by water. Now, this isn't the cleanest water, but it's still a vibe. You put you some music on, you get you one of those portable little chairs, and you sit by the water with a book or maybe your headphones. And you'll find a lot of people who do that. Now, granted, I have noticed a lot of people do have friends with them. And sometimes I look and go, I am such a loner. I am such a loner. I don't need other people to come up here with me. But I tend to find you do see the people who come along, but most people are with a friend and they have their blanket and they're just chilling. They might put a hammock up by the water. Like, it's really cool. You see a lot of college students up here, and always a nice vibe. And now I'm getting closer to my exit. But at first, when I used to come here, it took me a long time to come back here because I was always waiting on people. Because I was like, I'm not going over to that park by myself. It's a little too hidden, and people could just jump out. Because this is not the part that's hidden. This is the more open part that I'm showing you by the water, where it's not a lot of trees, but it's so cool. So as you can see on this path, you see how the roads are splitting. You could go either way and have a whole different experience walking this way. It's really kind of nice. I just want to pop in and show you a little piece of my world. I think it would be great if everyone showed pieces of their world, or went to parks, or went to places in nature. And even if you didn't share it, sometimes I watch this stuff when I'm home. I really love that tree in the background that I showed a glimpse of it. They have a lot of these trees that look like willow trees. They kind of hang by the water, and they're like, you could tell they have like hang. You always can tell you're by water with these trees. And I find these trees so cool. I love to stand under them and just stand under all the floppy leaves. A lot of different trees and plants and nature. You just gonna get the experience. It's a very simple joy that I like to do, and I hope you've enjoyed walking with me today. I love just nature, but I hope you're enjoying your day. I have more to share, so stay tuned and stay positive. Get out in nature, get out and walk, plant something, get out and work out. Start your day, if you can, outside, especially before you go to a job, especially if you go into a job that you got to wear a mask. I used to go to the park before I went to work. When I was in the office, I would go for a walk, grab me a smoothie, and it would just make my whole day better. So don't underestimate the power of just being outdoors and breathing in that air, getting your body moving, reminding you that the world is so much bigger than your job, so much bigger than this virus, so much bigger than sickness, so much bigger than some pain that you might be experiencing. It's a beautiful thing. If I want to get outdoors, I'll look at videos that I've made of me in nature because I just love the scene. Tell me your comments. Tell me some of the places you like to go for peace. Tell me what you like to do for fun. And here I am, as I told you, I love these little blooming trees. I'm not even sure what they're called, but they are so pretty. I love when I see these little pink trees that they pop up. It just feels so, they're just beautiful. They add a pop of color. Hey subbies and friends, it's Lady T. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know what part of the scenery you liked. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Yeah.
And swim. I probably just stretch your olive branch. Live, I tell you.